Hi kids, welcome to Unit 7 of English. In Unit 7, I hope you would have read the story called Alan the Alien. In that story, you come across a girl named Alice and she happens to see an alien right in the garden. And she talks to him and she notices a spaceship. And once she looks at the spaceship, she understands that it's really small and only somebody as small as her can fit into that. And after a little while, she sees this little alien walking out. And as she looks at the alien, she doesn't feel that it looks like anything that she has seen in a film or anywhere else. He looks more like her little brother. And then later on, as the alien walks, there's a dog from the neighborhood that starts barking. And this alien boy, he gets scared, he gets frightened. And then Alice goes out to help him by calming the dog because she knows the dog and she calls Bruno, please calm down. And then the dog calms down and the alien is very happy. Before that, the alien boy didn't want to talk to Alice because he said his mom had instructed him, saying that he is not supposed to trust strangers. But once Alice helps this little alien boy by calming the dog and showing it away, then this alien boy is happy and he smiles and he thanks Alice for the help that she had done. And later on, Alice asks the boy's name and it's a difficult name. So then she names this alien boy Alan. And then Alan tells her it's time to leave and then he goes back to his planet. And that's about the story. Now in this story, let's look at some of the word meaning. The first one here is landed. That means arrived. Second is missed, failed to notice. Blinking means flashing on and off of a light. Sobbing, it means crying. Difficult, something which is not easy to do. So these are the word meanings. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Here we need to fill in the missing letters in each of these words. Let's start. The first one here is BR blank TH blank R. What could the word be? It's brother. You're right. So the spelling would be BROTHER. Very good. In the same way, let's fill in the missing letters of the next few words. Let's try the second one. It's a spaceship. Yeah, so the spelling would be SPACESHIP. The next one, stranger. Yes, so we will spell it as STRANGER. Now let's move on to the match the following. Here we have column A and we have column B. Let's look and see what is suitable here. So we have to match with the correct opposites under column B. So in column A we have the first word difficult. So what would be the opposite? It is easy. Yes. The second one, sobbing. The opposite would be laughing. And bright, opposite is dull. Fourth one, remember. Opposite would be forget. Silence. Opposite is noise. And the last one, the opposite of dark is light. Very good. Now let's move on to the next activity. Here, the words in each row below can be grouped together under different categories. Choose the correct words, the category, for each row from the hint box and write them on the blanks. So carefully look at the hint box. We have a few words here. What are the words that are given? Shapes, space, vehicles, birds and sports. So let's look at the first one. The first one we have sun, moon, stars, spaceship. And the group would be space. That's right. Now let's go to the second one. Crow, sparrow, peacock, eagle. What are they? They are birds. Very good. Now the third one. Cricket, football, kabaddi, tennis. What are they? They are sports. You're right. Fourth one. Car, bus, boat, ship. What are they? They are vehicles. Now the last one. Rectangle, square, circle, cone. They are shapes. Very good. Now let's learn some grammar. Today we're going to learn demonstratives. Okay? What are demonstratives? Words such as this, that, these and those are called demonstratives. They show where an object, event or person stands in relation to the speaker. We use this and these for something that is near, and we use that and those for something that is far. For example, when we have something close to us, we say, "This is my bat." And when we have something more than one, we have something close to us, we say, "These are your balls." Okay? And let's look at something which is far away. I would say, "That is my flower." And then when we have more, then we'll say, "Those are your flowers." So this is one example. I hope you understood. Now let's look at the next exercise and let's see if you're able to fill in the blanks. Let's start. Dash is my doll. So you can see there's a girl standing there and she's holding her doll in her hand. So what would she say? Would she say, "That is my doll"? Or would she say, "Those are my dolls"? No, there's only one, right? So the right word would be, "This is my doll." Very good. Let's go to the next one. Dash is our house. So there's a girl standing outside her house, a little away from her house, and she's showing and saying, "That is our house." So that would be the right demonstrative word to be used here. Let's go to the third one. Dash are my clothes. There's a girl standing right outside her wardrobe and she's very close to it. So she says, "These are my clothes." Now the fourth one. Dash are Rama's crayons. So there's a girl standing there and she's pointing to those crayons which are on the table. So we would use the word "those" here in this blank. So those are Rama's crayons. Now let's go to the next activity here. Here there would be a few sentences that are given. You need to identify the naming words. Do you all remember what are naming words? Naming words are nothing but nouns, right? So the name of a person, place or thing is called a naming word, right? So let's try and see if you're able to identify the naming words in the following sentences. And once you identify them, you need to underline them. Okay, let's start. The first one. The apple tree is in the garden. So can you identify the naming words here? Apple, tree, you need to underline, and garden also is a naming word. And then let's go to the second one. A turtle moves slowly. Turtle is a naming word. Let's underline turtle. The third one. The bird is in its nest. Please underline bird and then underline nest. The fourth one. Mangoes are lying on the ground. So please underline mangoes and ground. Very good. Now the last one. Myra is going to school. So what is the naming word here? Myra and School. Very good. Now children, it's time to listen carefully, okay? It's time that we learn to communicate, okay? Now I want you all to listen to what I'm going to say very carefully, and then you will be able to understand the difference of pronunciation in each and every word that I'm going to pronounce, okay? Especially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say a word, for example, H-A-T. How do we pronounce H-A-T? It is hat. Very good. Now, if we add the letter E at the end of H-A-T, it becomes hate. That's how we pronounce H-A-T-E, right? So, H-A-T is hat and H-A-T-E is hate. Very good. Now, let's look at some of the other words which have these similar differences in pronunciation when we add E at the end of it, okay? Next we have M-A-T. It is pronounced as mat, and when we add E at the end of it, we pronounce it as mate. The third one, K-I-T, is kit, and when we add E to it, it becomes kite. The fourth one, P-I-N, is pin, and when we add E at the end of it, it is pine. Now, in the similar way, we have an activity here just below that. So, you have to fill in the blank with the letter E, and then you will be able to notice what the word becomes, how is it pronounced, and what the meaning would be. Okay, let's try and see. The first one is Q-U-I-T, and we pronounce it as quit. And if you add E at the end of it, we need to write E in the blank that is given there. So it would be quiet. And the second one, C-L-O-T-H, is cloth, and you need to write E in the blank there. So it becomes cloth. The third one, R-O-D, is rod, and when you add E at the end of it, it is road. The fourth one, cut, C-U-T, and when you add E at the end of it, it becomes cute. Now the fifth one, F-I-N, is fin, and when you add E, it becomes fine. Wasn't that fun? So when you add just one letter at the end of that word, it is pronounced differently, and it even has a different meaning to it. Now, when you move to the next page, you see a story called A Starry Night. I think you must have read it, or maybe your mom read it to you. And in this story, you learn about the different things that we find up in the sky and in the space. And they talk about different stars, and they talk about the moon, and they talk about which one is more bigger, right? And there are children there talking to an uncle who takes them to the terrace. And then they learn that even sun is a star. And actually all these stars are not really as small as you see them, right? But they are, some of the stars are even more bigger and much more bigger than the sun. But they appear small to us because they are quite very far away from us, right? And the moon is comparatively small, right? So let's look at some of the word meaning that is given here. The first one is terrace. It means roof. Second one, elevator. A machine that carries people from one floor to another in a tall building. Opinion. A view or judgment formed about something. Possible. Able to be done. Now, in the next exercise, we have match the following. Here in column A, we have few words that are given, and in column B, there are some phrases. So we need to complete these sentences. When we match them, we should be able to make a meaningful sentence. Okay, so let's try it. The first one, stars shine brightly. Very good. The sky is clear tonight. The third one, the sun is also a star. Fourth one, an astronomer studies about stars. Fifth one, stars are far away from us. Sixth one, the moon is smaller than the sun. That's the last one. Now, if you turn the page at the end of this unit, we can see there's an exercise that is given here, and this is more about grammar that we learned today. We had learnt about demonstratives, right? So let's fill in the right demonstrative word that is suitable for these sentences. Let's go ahead. The first one, dash are 5 apples in that basket. So which is the appropriate word that can be used? Is it here or is it there? There are 5 apples. You can write the word there. The next one, you can see there's a person holding a 10 rupee note in his hand. So he says, here is a 10 rupee note in my hand. The third one, why are you sitting there? Come and sit here. That's the right thing. Fourth one, his aunt lives in Mumbai. He is going there. So that is the right word. Very good, children. You all did a good job today. Hope you had fun learning. See you all soon. Bye-bye.